Alright, hi guys. So this is the second video in a series of videos on how to do sound design in a virtual synthesizer, specifically the Vital Synth. Alright, in this video we're going to be looking at how to use a filter, and in particular we're going to use it on a saw wave. So the reason why we use a filter, well, let's talk about what a filter does first of all. Alright, so a filter, and I'm going to switch it on here. Notice I've got two filters in Vital, so I just click the circle to switch it on. And by default, it gives us what's called a low pass filter. So low pass meaning that the low frequencies are going to be allowed to pass through and high frequencies are going to get filtered out. So I'm going to start off by opening this filter right up. So this is going to allow everything through. And as I close that filter, high frequencies are going to get filtered out. So if I go over to my analysis here, you can see I've only got a few of those overtones in there now. If I open it up more, it's going to allow more to come in. So as I close the filter and take out more of those overtones, it kind of mellows out the sound, makes it much softer. Alright, so a couple of things you may have noticed. So first of all, we have this slope here. So the filter doesn't just immediately cut off the high frequencies, it does it gradually. So from this point onwards, which is the cutoff, it's going to reduce the volume of the sound by 12 decibels per octave. That's what that 12 dB means, until we get to silence down the bottom. Alright, and I can increase the slopes, so I can go 24 decibels per octave. And I've got some other options here which we don't really need to go into. I'm going to stick with this now, that's kind of my default setting. Now you might have noticed I've got this little bump here. So that's called my resonance. So that just boosts the frequencies near the cutoff point. I can increase that. If you increase it a lot, you get this sort of weird like extra note in there created by that resonance, and I can flatten it right out as well. So you can kind of just adjust it by ear to get the timbre that you want. Alright, and then I probably should have mentioned, yeah, this slider here is my cutoff. So you already noticed I can get quite a few different timbres just out of a saw wave by where I place the filter, so I can have like a really soft sound through to quite bright sounds. Alright, but if I have quite a low cutoff, what's potentially going to happen is as I get higher, my notes are actually going to go above the filter cutoff and get taken out completely. So to avoid that, I can turn on what's called key tracking. So that's this setting here. So now what happens is the filter essentially moves with the keys. So as the keys go up, the filter goes up, allowing those high notes to still be in there. Okay. Another option I have here is the mix. So if I bring this mix down, it'll start to let some of those high frequencies back in. You can hear that brightness start to come in. Alright. One last thing we'll look at right now is you can just flip this slider to the other side and to create what's called a high pass filter, which is going to filter out low frequencies and just leave high ones. Now in most cases that's going to be less useful than a low pass, but there might be some uses for it that we'll look at later. Okay, so that is how you use a filter on a saw wave. In the next video we're going to look at how to use the envelopes, and that is where we're really going to start creating some interesting presets and sounds that are really usable. Alright, I'll see you there.